everyone. Welcome back to another video where I recommend books to you based on whatever. And today we are going to talk about true crime. True crime has blown up in the past couple of years. There are true crime podcast shows. They are everywhere. They are themed. Oxygen has pretty much switched to true crime entirely, which I appreciate because I do love Snapped. I think it's great. But I'm going to talk to you about a couple YA novels that true crime lovers will really appreciate. The first is Sadie by Courtney Summers. I have talked about Courtney Summers in previous videos. I adore her. I am so happy that Sadie became, I believe it's a New York Times bestseller. I'm so happy for her that that happened because she's just a great writer. But Courtney Summers uses Sadie to kind of mimic the true crime podcast trend. So you have Sadie, she's your protagonist, and she's had a pretty rough upbringing. It hasn't been stable. And her one job is to protect her younger sister, Maddie, from any harm. Unfortunately, Maddie is murdered, and Sadie knows exactly who did it. She's pretty sure. And the police kind of flub the case. So Sadie takes it upon herself to track down, right, across wherever, follow these clues and find Maddie's killer. As that's happening, you kind of cut to West McCrae, who is this radio personality, and he's doing a story on forgotten towns and little-known towns. He overhears Sadie's story because he's hearing about it later, and he becomes almost obsessed with it. So he decides to do a podcast series about Sadie's story, which is just so cool because it's actually what happens with true crime podcasts. So you have the two perspectives. Sadie, as she's experiencing everything, you're with her, you know exactly what's happened. And then West McCrae, who is solving the mystery of where is Sadie? Where is she? Okay. And everything that Sadie does, then West kind of has to dissect, and you can see what he gets right, what he gets wrong. There are witness interviews, and he follows the trail that Sadie led, which was really cool. It read exactly like a podcast, and I'll be honest, I was reading the book and I actually kind of struggled with it a little bit because of the format. I listened to the audio and it sounded exactly like a podcast would. I adored that about it. It was fantastic. The people that did the audio of this book nailed it and just went full force into this podcast theme. Think like Up and Vanished or Serial or Someone Knows Something. That's what this sounds like. And it was just a great ride. It is probably my number one recommendation to people who love true crime or like true crime and like YA. It's Sadie by Courtney Summers. Slam dunk. Second novel is The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas. Your protagonist, Monica, she lives in this town. Her family's pretty wealthy. It's idyllic, right? And just wonderful. The issue is that cheerleaders seem to die in this town, so there are no more cheerleaders. They've done away with that. Now Monica's on the dance team. Specifically, 5 cheerleaders died. A couple were murdered. Some died in a car crash. And Monica's sister committed suicide. She was one of the cheerleaders. Okay? These cases are solved. They're cut and dry. They're done, right? Put away, put to bed. But when Monica uncovers some secrets and realizes that things that she's been told about these cases and things that the public has been told are not entirely true, she dives right into this mystery and solving what has happened. And it's the idea that perhaps her sister did not kill herself because Monica knew her sister and just does not believe that that's possible. So she dives into this mystery, but naturally what she discovers is that if there really is a killer out there, they've already killed for whatever reason, and they're probably going to kill to keep this secret. And she's going to discover how many other people are willing to kill to keep secrets of their own that might not have to do with this at all. So it's a great mystery, and it's a really intriguing concept of these cheerleaders dying. There is that, and I don't remember the name, but that true crime case, and it's the cursed town where all of those teens kind of kept dying, and like the neighbor was convicted of it, but people weren't sure it was him. Oh my gosh. If you know what that is, put it in the comments. I'm going to remember it the moment I'm done recording this. But it was a true crime documentary. I think Oxygen aired it. I could sit here and talk about it all day, but I believe that that's what inspired this novel, and I could be totally wrong. And if not, they're dead ringers for each other in a lot of ways. So that's book 2, The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas, and I do recommend that one. That one's a pretty fast read. You'll get right through it, and it's a pretty good mystery as well. Yeah. Book 3 is The Best Lies by Sarah Liu. The Best Lies is obsession at its finest. It is the idea that, people can become obsessed with other people, and it's kind of, intriguing at first, like these relationships that you get into that are all like consuming, right? And just totally take over your life. They're thrilling in a way at first, but also there's a very fine line between obsession and love. And that line is like miles long. So no to obsession. Okay. But this book touches upon that. So you have Remy, and Remy has a great boyfriend. His name is Jack. She also has a stellar best friend, and her name is Elise. Now, this novel starts off on the night when Jack is shot. And you're with Remy, and she is a disaster. Her boyfriend has just been shot. Dun dun dun. By Elise, her best friend. Yes, I know. I've just given the whole book to you. Not really, because that is in the description of the book. You know automatically who the victim is. You know automatically who the killer is. So how is there a book? Well, the question becomes, is the killer, Elise, is she culpable? And so what Remy has to do is go over everything leading up to her boyfriend's death, this boyfriend that she loved very much. And she has to examine her actions, her best friend's actions, his actions, and what led to that exact moment. And is there culpability? That's the question. And I just thought it was such a great concept of, it's not a murder mystery. We already know who did it. It's just the idea of, well, yes, they did it, but are they guilty in that way? And I really did enjoy that. It was a fun ride. And it honestly, not the murder piece, but how when you're just younger and your friendships are just really intense, and it reminded me a lot of that, of, you're angry because your friend doesn't want to hang out with you, or you're bitter about, your girlfriend hanging out with their friends, or your boyfriend hanging out with his friends without you, that kind of thing. It reminded me a lot of that. And so this novel in a lot of ways is pretty realistic in how these teens interact with each other. And it's just a really interesting ride. And I would be interested to see what other people think when they get to the end. And, is there guilt? Is there blame, culpability, what have you? I'd be really interested. So those are the 3 right now that I have as my top 3 for true crime lovers or people looking to get into true crime. Sadie by Courtney Summers, The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas, and The Best Lies by Sarah Liu. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I put these out every week, usually on Thursdays. And if you have books that you think I would like, that you'd like me to talk about, or you think I should, put on my list at some point down the line, or want me to do like a specific video recommendation topic, I'd love to do that. So just put that in the comments and I'd be super happy to do that. I think that that's it. I hope you are all happy, safe, and healthy, and having great days. Bye.